On a quiet autumn night in 2022, 4 young students were found dead in their rented home in Idaho. No signs of forced entry, no apparent motive, and no immediate suspects. The mystery stunned a nation, and investigators raced to uncover the truth. This is the story of the Idaho student murders. What if the killer was someone you never expected? Someone with access, someone you might know? Over the next 10 minutes, we'll walk through the crime scene, the evidence trail, the suspect's background, and how modern forensic tools cracked a case once thought unsolvable. Stay tuned, the answer lurks in the dark. In November 2022, Zainer Kernadel, Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogen, and Kaylee Gonsalves, all students at the University of Idaho, lived together in a home just off campus. They were friends, with plans, dreams, lives full of possibility. On the night of November 13th, something went terribly wrong. Their roommates had gone out. When they returned, they found all 4 dead. The announcement sent shockwaves through the town. Friends, families, and a grieving community demanded answers. When police arrived, the scene was horrifying. There was no sign of a forced entry, no struggle in plain view. But subtle evidence began to emerge: a knife sheath, traces of blood, and fragments of DNA. Investigators immediately launched a multi-jurisdictional effort. They collected surveillance footage, phone records, and sought DNA leads. One breakthrough was a knife sheath with DNA traces. Using genetic genealogy, the same technique that solved cold cases, they traced partial matches through public databases. The trail eventually led to one suspect, Bryan Kohberger, a criminology PhD student at a nearby university. Bryan Kohberger wasn't just a random person of interest, he had relevant connections. He studied criminal behavior, had ties near the area, and his digital footprint placed him in suspicious proximity. Phone pings, vehicle records, a white Hyundai Elantra, and cell tower data all aligned with places the victims had been. The DNA from the sheath matched him. He was arrested. The community polarized. Some asked, was this a textbook criminal profiling? Others saw anguish, betrayal, and fear. How could someone studying crime commit it? The trial was a media spectacle. Aspects debated. Was there premeditation, or was it a spontaneous act? How reliable was the DNA and the genealogical link? What about defense claims of circumstantial evidence? Prosecutors emphasized methodical planning. The defense challenged the chain of custody and the validity of sweeping digital links. In June 2025, Kohberger avoided the death penalty by accepting for life sentences. But even with sentencing, many questions linger. Motive remains murky. The family's pain remains raw. The case ignited debate over privacy and how far law enforcement can go with genealogy databases. This case left a lasting impact. It showed how genetic genealogy is reshaping crime solving. It raised privacy questions. Should law enforcement access consumer DNA databases? It reminded us how even quiet communities can harbor darkness. It forced families, media, and viewers to ask, how much do we know about those around us? Above all, it's a cautionary tale. Modern crime isn't necessarily brutal or dramatic. Sometimes it's terrifyingly methodical and silent. The Idaho student murders shocked the nation not just because of their brutality, but because they broke our assumptions that such violence can't happen in our own backyards. If this case taught us anything, it's that truth can be hidden, but with persistence, science, and collective will, even the darkest story can come to light. If you found this story compelling, hit like, subscribe for more true crime breakdowns, and tell us in the comments, which part of this case surprised you the most? If you found